Yo, what's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Super Dave from the PA Political Revolution Podcast. Hey, we're here. We're kind of going off the hip on the fly right now because I really don't have a lot of time to go ahead and try to process this. So, what I'm going to bring you to some disrespectful ass comments from Mayor Thurman Bartie, and also you have with some passive aggressions from Donald Ray Frank, right? Now, I don't know what in the hell is wrong with Mayor Boy T, but he seems to think he's a goddamn dictator. He thinks he can tell everybody what in the hell they have to say, how to say it, what not to say. I mean, this guy's a goddamn fool. This is the actual problem. What's going on now? Now they having like a little mock workshop or some shit, like a workshop or information finding thing on the actual changing the EDC from a type A to type B. They had some other stuff going on too, but I'm kind of jumping in the heart of the matter right now. We're going to go ahead and start off with Mr. Floyd Batiste giving the presentation about this EDC deal.
Okay, and I think Floyd,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mayor Council,
right?
Mayor Council, is it Guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we don't have a PowerPoint presentation. I did jot down some questions that I heard from the last meeting, and I think that we are here to answer some of the questions. One of the things I want to begin with, that since the exception of EDC, I think, but Guy, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 1995 in the city of Port Arthur. The citizens did vote to be a Type A organization. A Type A organization, in the state of Texas, you have two different types of EDC, a Type A and also a Type B. The citizen chose to be a Type B, a Type A. I'm sorry. What you have in front of you is what really has happened since I've been here. I came here in October 2005, and it shows you what this Type A organization has done within the city of Port Arthur. When I first got here in '05, the council went put on the ballot through ordinance 05-19. The council placed 8 different propositions on the ballot to take Type A money to use for various types of Type B projects, and they went to the voters. Well, I can tell you, if you go to ordinance 05-39, all 8 of those propositions failed. They failed. We came back in 2006, and we went again to the voters. And at that time, we went to the voters, and the board of directors asked the council to place on Proposition 8 and 9 on the ballot. And 8 and 9 was for amateur sports. We wanted to put $500,000 a year for 2 years, and then we also asked them to put another $500,000 for demolition. So we went to the voters approved it. So we was putting $500,000 for amateur sports for 2 years, which is amounted to $1 million. And then we put $500,000 for demolition for 2 years, which is another $1 million.
Excuse me, but Baptiste.
Yes, sir.
Baptiste and Mr. Davis. Well, if you will, and I've read it, and I have a little prior knowledge, but because
Now look at this horse shit right here. This arrogant son of a bitch, right? Our motherfucking mayor. I support him. I'm wrong for that too. He lied to us. But this clown ass crash dummy here, right? He's going to interrupt Mr. Floyd Batiste because he don't like the way how he's presenting it, right? See, when you get these fucking drug addicts in here as fucking mayors and damn council members and shit, they don't understand what professionalism is, right? These goddamn smokers and shit, all this hood shit you bring to a goddamn professional place like a goddamn city government, they don't respect professionalism. So now he kind of wants to control the fucking conversation and have to help his fucking cousin, Donald Ray Frank, in order to goddamn say what in the hell they want him to say, right? They're going to try to cut from his presentation some shit that he want to cut in. Listen to this shit.
We're live and we have citizens who probably joined or who may be listening through Zoom or whatever. Can you explain, and I'm trying to keep it as concise as we possibly can.
Nobody asked you to keep the goddamn shit concise. This is what the council meeting is for. We want all the goddamn information. If a goddamn citizen don't want to goddamn hear all this, they can fast forward, reverse, mute, go through this shit how they want to do. Me, I'm an information person. I like all the information. I don't want you to cut and shit out, concise it, try to hide shit, move shit, just because your lazy ass don't want to goddamn do your fucking job.
Explain what a type A is and what a type B is. And then what the difference is.
Yes, sir.
Instead of giving us the information that we have right now, because I think the council.
Well, I may not have the motherfucking information. I want the information. That's the whole purpose of the council meeting. It's not to do what the fuck you want to do. It's for to give the information to the goddamn citizens, Mayor. You out of fucking line.
I understand all of this, but there may be some citizens on there who don't have the basic knowledge of a type A and a type B, what the difference is between those. If you would explain what an A is and what a B is.
Okay. A type A organization could invest their sales tax money, the 1/2 cent that we get from the city, on land, equipment, other expenses to help develop, retain, and expand companies with the following type of projects: manufacturing, industrial, research and development, recycling, warehousing. We could do warehousing. We could do distribution center, regional and national co-op, corporate headquarters, close, realigning military bases, primary job training facilities for higher education. A type A development corporation can also spend money on things that doesn't create primary jobs, such as job training class, which we do, business, airport, and port, infrastructure, retail, commercial projects, business-related sewer, utility, and site improvement projects that attract new military base, light commuter trail. And type B, we could also do type B project with the approval of the voters, you know. On the B side, it does everything that is authorized under type A, but you could do water supply facility with a special election project that improve community quality of life, including parks, special amateur sports, athletic field, affordable housing, and other expenses that promote new and expanding business. Projects that design or attract new military mission, prevention, and closure of existing mission or redevelopment of closing base, hangars, airport, maintenance, repair facility, rail, ports, switching facility. Those are the difference between A and B is B could do more quality of life things, you know. But everything under B you could do under A. Does that kind of answer the question, Mayor?
Okay, yeah, and I just want us to be as concise as we possibly can, so that they would have an understanding of.
I goddamn don't need you to dictate to me how concise you fucking want me to be. Let the man goddamn speak. We don't need you to keep interrupting every 5 fucking minutes to say what the hell, because he not saying the shit how you want him to say it.
Of the basics, and the information that you do have, I think it's been given. I went over it this morning, and it's real good, and it shows what we've done being a type A, including aspects of a type B. But I think the real question that we have here is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of remaining in A? Are there any advantages, or are there any disadvantages? And are there any disadvantages in going to a B, or being I don't know if you could be a multi A and B, I'm not sure. And these are some of the questions I think that we need answers as council. But for sure, I know I would want to answer it. And I think some of the citizens, because before we get missed.
Well, the shit ain't goddamn hard, Mayor. All you have to do is go to the goddamn comptroller's website. Go to the comptroller's website. Everything is right up there. If you would have a fucking brain, you would have goddamn went to the website and actually did some studying for yourself.
Informed on a lot of things back then. I don't think there's any personal situation that any one particular council member would have in bringing this forward, but for information purposes. So can you tell us, or even your attorney there, tell us what the advantages are of remaining where we are, as opposed to considering what the council person has brought up?
Let me try to go through a couple of things of more explanation of what Mr. Batiste just went through. He identified the 4A powers and said,
Now this is kind of funny right here with this this EDC attorney Goodwin, whatever his name is. He kind of gives a whole bunch of legal goddamn jargon, right? That's pretty much he's doing. He's just going around with some goddamn legal talk and confusing these stupid motherfuckers on council, right? Confusing these stupid bastards on council. That's pretty much basically what he's doing. So I'm going to kind of go ahead and skip past some of this stuff because that's all it is. He just, rambling and stuff like that, confusing, kind of trying to break the conversation, so to speak.
Weekend is a 4A adopt 4B powers. That is with the process works with that capital investment and part to job creation this part. So, Mayor and Council, you are a 4A. If you want to continue to be a 4A and do projects, for bond counsel to advise you as to what process you would need to go, how the 4B EDC would be staffed, and then creation of another. Texas, as much as it's 5. So
to structure
I'm just rewind a minute.
So happy to be back with friends. Thank you, sir.
Good. My deepest condolences on your loss.
She led a wonderful life, just 2 months short of 95. So I would say my mother had a very wonderful life. Thank you so much.
It's a blessing. Quick question concerning the structure and oversight of between a type A and a type B. I was reading something from the Texas Municipal League, and I wanted to share it, and I need to get your opinion on this. And it says here, with regard to structure, the type A board has at least 5 members with no statutory criteria for their selection. And the type B board members actually have a residency requirement in the act. And I want to interpret that personally is to say that the type A does not have a residency requirement. Is that
it does not.
Now, basically, I don't know why Kenneth Frank is asking these doggone questions. He just came off the EDC. It goddamn boggles my doggone brain. If you just came off the EDC, you asking these questions. Why don't you just give us some information? You should have some information. If you're going to talk, you're going to give us the information. Not just ask goddamn questions like you Donald Frank ass don't know shit about it. Or Bartie.
But I believe the Port Arthur EDC bylaws overlaid that requirement, sir, into what the city of Port Arthur determined back, again, pre both Floyd and Iris' time, that the requirements for.
Basically, what they're saying is right here: the requirements and the bylaws, regardless if the requirements were not in the type A or the B situation. When the EDC, when they created EDC, they created the bylaws, their own rules and stuff. So it's in the bylaws. So it has requirements. So I don't know why in the hell he asked that question. He came off the EDC. He should understand the bylaws, man. If you look, people, these council members are not fucking smart. These are goddamn crash dummies. I'm telling you, a lot of them are crash fucking dummies. They up here. They shouldn't be up here. The only thing they want to do is hustle and sell developers some damn money. They want to allegedly. They goddamn want to hook and crook, give developers money, right? So they can get a kickback on the end. That's what these fucking crooks, the only thing they want to do. Half of these son of a bitches is dumb. Matter of fact, 3/4 of these son of bitches are dumb. They're dumb. They shouldn't be up there, but they play off your ignorance. Citizens, they play off your ignorance. They know you don't know what in the hell they don't know, right? They know you don't know how stupid they are. We'll go ahead on and continue.
Membership on the board would be. So the as we call it, the Economic Development Act, which actually encompasses chapters 501.
Your mother's passing.
Frank, your hand was up on this deal earlier.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Basically, their bylaws and rules of operating procedure. So you are correct that there was not a residency requirement for a corporation, but that was overlaid into the bylaws.
Okay. Okay. That answers the question right now. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Frank, your hand was up on this deal earlier.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, Guy. Again, my condolences as well for your mother's passing. I did have a conversation. I'm grateful to see the EDC there, Mr. Batiste and Mr. George, our friend there as well, Sparks. Great to see them today. I did have a conversation with them, and it was a very great conversation, having sat down with them and trying to get some of this information in preparation for this workshop on today. And so thank you as well, Council. It was my conversation and my question as I placed it on the agenda that we would have this workshop and that we would engage in this dialogue and receive this information from them and from Attorney Goodson on today. And the reason being, of course, I am a new council member, and it is not mine to rock the boat in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But as a new council member and having been placed on the council by the citizens of Port Arthur in an election that is a cross section of the entire city, one of the platform items that I ran on was to cause our city to move into economic development and quality of life. And so as Mr. Batiste was commenting, the type B projects are more attuned to quality of life. And our city is in need of projects that do bring a quality of life to our city. And I believe that
Donald Frank, again, you can do the quality of life things. You just have to bring it to a voter, Donald Frank. Why are you playing stupid? Why are you playing stupid?
It is imperative to do so. This is why I have brought forth the consideration of moving from A to B. And I think that the great consideration as we dialogue about it today and receive information is just a very simple question. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for us as we'll hear this information and the presentations on today? Is it worth it for us to do? Does it bring the type of quality of life to our city that we want, that we deserve, that we need if we're going to truly be an all-American city again, if we're going to be a city that's going to cause individuals to move to our city, and to perhaps pick Port Arthur as a city in which we want people to live. So that's the thing that we have to dialogue. One thing that has arisen as well as we're drawing on this information is that people have believed that it is an opportunity for us to go around our citizens or to avoid our citizens and take away from them their voice as we do so. But I'm so glad, Mr. Goodson, that in the information that you have given for the board that would be a part of a B, that citizens are a part of that, and that all of these things that are going to happen and transpire will be a citizen's vote will be needed. So it gives us great a great opportunity, but it also allows us to not avoid our citizens or to have them to believe in any way, shape, form, or fashion that we're seeking to go around them, avoid them, or to not hear their voice in this B process if we were to go forward with it. And it's not something that's going to be done overnight, because Mr. Goodson has said that we do have to talk to a bond attorney. We would have to talk to a bond attorney about bond indebtedness and all of that, and make sure that we're taking care of the issues and projects that we.
Hell, to show you this is a bullshit ass project, right? You have to go through a whole lot of trouble, right? Close out the accounts that you have. Make sure you pay for that all up before you go into this whole transition. Now, he was kind of Mr. Goodman, the attorney. He was kind of rumbling about a lot of things, so I don't want to bore you with that, because I want to just bring you basically to the crux of the problem that I have with these two clowns here.
Begun in A. So I think it's great information, and I think that as a council that again is seeking to move our city in a forward direction and consideration, I think it is important for us to have this dialogue, to receive this information, and to go forward. One question I wanted to ask Mr. Goodson, you were saying that that there are several considerations. You can be an A, you can be an A and a B, and have two different councils or two different groups, right, Mr. Goodson?
There is a possibility, yes, and then you would have to allocate funds, and that again talks back to your city attorney, your city manager, talking to your bond counsel about what any conversion would be relative to that outstanding debt. But I didn't pull any of that, sir, because I wasn't sure what the conversation would be today. But I'm sure that both Val and Mr. Burton are more than capable of reviewing those matters. But yes, there are entities that have both a 4A and a 4B. There are entities that are just 4As, and those are just 4Bs.
All right. Thank you.
And one thing I would say in closing, just and again thanking Val. We recently worked to put another quality of life type project from the EDC on your ballot for this May for a park project. And I think the information, Mr. Batiste, without me stating any of it, shows the other quality of life type projects that the EDC has collaborated with the city in the past. And effectively, I think that what to me has happened of late, Mayor and Council, is there has been a lot of dialogue because of the Mr. Batiste and George staying in close communication with you all and city staff and the city manager about what upcoming projects there are. And as we only have the luxury now of having elections in November and May, and as some of you know, there's at least 3 bills for the legislature right now to cut back our right to even have May elections and move everybody's elections to November, whether that it's been moved before or not. But at the end of the day, I think annually, as we prepare our budget and look at projects, I think that at least my humble opinion is the EDC has always looked to its partner, the city, when it prepares its budget to bring to you for part of your budget process. Usually we try to finish that in June so you can start the city manager's process in July and do your hearings in August, and then bring something to your council in September. That we are looking at that point, the city and the council, for the collaboration that we've been able to have, and hopefully we will continue. What happens is, what happens is you have to go to a hearing process. Let's say, Mayor and Council, in very short order.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman Mark.
Yeah, just for clarity's sake, Guy, the type B, any projects that are proposed have to go to the voters, right? What
happens is you have to go to a hearing process. let's say someone wants to spend $500,000.
Basically, what he's saying is going to hearing process, not the voters. They're just going to vote on it. The EDC board's going to vote on it, then the council's going to vote on it, then it's going to become law. The citizens does not have any say in what's going on in the Type B project, basically.
To improve or redevelop a former business. Then that project with the delineation of the project costs has to be presented to the EDC and the city for approval. Then there is a hearing process that has to go forward before that project can even be brought back to the council to approve and then do a development agreement. So there's a period of time in which each project has to go forward. But it doesn't go back to the voters each time. It goes back to a hearing process each time.
Commissioner,
Go ahead,
Becky. Each B project has to go through a public hearing with the people. You may have 5 or 10 people come to council and speak for things. That's all. That's the only deal. One of the deals that we had the city secretary submit to you guys. I've been here 10, 15 years, and if you look at what we submitted to you guys over the 15-year period, this board of directors, Economic Development Corporation, have allocated about $25 million to city quality of life. Those are money that the city does not have to go into their general fund to use to improve the quality of life.
Now, y'all heard that. EDC has already put in $25 million of quality of life, right? Now, the council screwed all that up. Okay, well, not screwed it up, but what do you think? What looks like it has quality of life around here? What is the quality of life that $25 million bring? You can't really think of too much, right? Little if any.
If you look at the 20.
Oh, and then you want to go ahead and let the council have free reign, keep the Economic Development Center from doing the job training, the CDL job training, all the other little training programs they have over there to giving people jobs for some other quality of life where the council can't guarantee jobs. Now, when the EDC does it, it puts a requirement on any businesses that it deals with as far as like hiring. They can pull the numbers for that, right? But you're letting the council go ahead and have free reign over. There's nothing that attached jobs on there. There's no guarantee on that.
$5 million over the 10, 12-year period. About 45% of the money that we receive, we're giving it back to the city. But we go to the citizen and say, this is where we want to allocate your money. And the citizen approve or disapprove.
Basically what he's saying, that's what the Class A is, letting the citizens vote. That's what we want to keep. They're telling you to vote, right? Everybody telling you to vote, but now these same candidates that try to get you to vote, they don't want you to be a part of the voting process now. It don't make no damn sense.
Go back to after the storm, we put $1 million in demolition because the city didn't have the money to demo the number of facilities in this town that needed to be demoed. So we injected $1 million and we cleaned up the west side. We cleaned up the west side. The improvements in your parks. If you look at the improvements, and city manager has this accountant, EDC put more money into the improvements of your parks in the last 10 years than your general fund did.
So now notice what you're saying. EDC is doing the city's job with the money, right? Where the city misappropriated the money, whatever the hell they did with it, didn't have the money to do it. They done screwed it off, messed it off, whatever. Now, we don't need to have the city merge with the goddamn EDC. We want to let the EDC to keep doing economic development. not goddamn use the money to goddamn fund all other things that the city should be doing. You have to understand, people, economic development, you need that to keep economics. You need that to try to develop jobs and skill sets and things so we can get working. We don't need the money to go to goddamn there's other bullshit, right? There's other shit like a skating ring, a restaurant, a water park. The city is not in the business of giving developers money. That's too easy for corruption. You know, yeah, you give them some money, give you kickback on the other end. You know, we not in the business for that. You know, we if we want to do it, we give them tax breaks. We don't give them no damn cash. You know what I mean? Especially the cash that we need to use to continue to do what we doing. You know what I mean? So doesn't make any sense.
Streets and maintenance, we set aside, we didn't set it, we forgave 1/8 of our money to go specifically because we heard the taxpayers. You know, the streets, the maintenance, and we put about $5.4 million that did not have to come from city general fund. Yeah. So when you look at the total picture of this thing, Councilman Frank, a 4A and a 4B, I think the 4A is an advantage for this city because first thing, we're an industrial-based community.
Now you heard it. The EDC Director, right, the main person that deals with all of this, says it's an advantage. Now listen to how Bartie gonna blow the hell up on him on that, right? Just listen.
Second is that when this board of directors, with the approval of the council, see that there is a need for specific 4B projects for the community as a whole, then we go after voters. This is what we like to spend your money on.
That's the same thing I've been telling you. All of this that Donald Frank and Bartie is trying to do is get besides the voters and to take this money and screw it up. They ain't gonna misappropriate the money, man. They trying to get kickbacks off of the money. It's about the money. Now, Mr. Batiste, EDC Director, he said this is what it's about. You know, you go ahead and go to the voters for that. You can do them B projects, it goes to the voters. But Frank and Bartie, they don't want to hear none of that shit.
And the voters say yay or nay. So my opinion is it is best that this city stay as a 4A project organization because first we're an industrial base. I hear you guys talk about the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate. Well, we work on that. That's what 4A does. It creates jobs. It raises your tax base. Every business that we bring here, build a building. It goes onto your tax roll. It creates jobs. It puts money in. It creates a quality of life for people because it puts money into their pocket.
That's the best quality of life, able to get a good paying job where I can take care of myself, right? Where I can go ahead, what's the goodness to have a quality of life if you have a new restaurant or a skating ring, but I don't have no money to go to it. So jobs, that's always the best quality of life.
So my opinion to this council is that I think it is in the best interest of this city that you continue being a 4A and you allow the director and the board of directors of the Economic Development Corporation, along with city staff, administration, to decide those specific quality of life community things that this community needs, and then we go ask the voters to do it for them. That's my opinion.
Okay, Mr. Batiste. Hold on one second, and I don't know if I'm.
Listen to this bullshit here. Listen to this old Nazi ass damn dummy talk. Listen to him.
Totally correct on this, but I don't think we really wanted to know what your professional thoughts were or opinions are. We just want to just give us the pros and cons of it. I think you're
that's
I could be wrong, but you could be stepping somewhere into an area that maybe we don't want anyone. I don't think I've heard anyone just go into it like that to say what they felt. So as a
Fool, why in the fuck you have him over there then, fool? You have him over there because you want his goddamn professional opinion. Now this stupid Nazi son of a bitch sounds like he on fucking dope, right? I can't stand these motherfucking goddamn crooked ass council members, right? Think cause they have a position over him, right? They want to bully this man. It don't make no fucking sense why these old coward ass fucking scum of the earth mayor and his fucking cousin Donald Ray Frank gonna treat this man like this. What you mean you don't want to hear his goddamn professional fucking opinion? Just cause he's not saying what the fuck you want him to say, you son of a bitch, you goddamn want to belittle the fucking man. I can't stand you motherfuckers.
Yeah, to me, I just want us to be cognizant of that. You know, we understand that. We just want.
I understand.
Yeah, so I would rather keep it as generic as possible.
That is my professional opinion, Mayor.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I understand your passion.
Now look at the arrogance of this son of a bitch, right? You have the EDC Director giving you an opinion. Now these other folks that's on the council, they not saying that this is a good idea. You know, most of them said the contrary than the last goddamn video I brought up. The only two clowns that's saying this shit is a good idea is the mayor and his fucking cousin.
Mayor, it's my professional opinion.
Okay, well, your professional opinion. Well, keep your professional opinion right there. Put a pin on it, if you will, for right now.
Keep your professional opinion right there and put a pin on it. Bitch, who the fuck you think you are?
Now, and let us just give us what the facts are on it, if you will. And just hold your professional opinion there. Okay? See a hand of Councilman Frank?
Let me ask this question, and I do appreciate, again, I thank you, Mayor, for your comments, and I do
now, goddamn, Frank's about to turn up the heat, right? He's about to turn up the heat, too.
appreciate Mr. Batiste's personal opinion, and that is important as someone who has led this EDC in a favorable way and who has accomplished many things.
Now Frank trying to clean it up because Bartie was out of line with that dumbass shit, right? Now he know his old Hitler ass fucking cousin's out of line with that stupid ass shit. Now he trying to clean it up.
Through the Type A EDC. My only question that and consideration I have, again, is that from the information gotten by Mr. Goodson, is that we are not in any way avoiding the citizens and what they want, but as well.
Oh, that's the only thing that's going to happen if you change it from a Type A to Type B. You bypassing the goddamn citizen. That's the only fucking thing. I've been telling you this last week.
Well, I think the consideration for us, and I want to hear this as well, Mr. Goodson did say that as elections are being limited in the state of Texas, that we are only allowed one shot at, one bite of the apple, because all of the projects that want to be done through B can be voted upon one time a year. And so those are the kinds of things that I think that we can.
Now, you lying son of a bitch. He said there are bills on there to be talking about. Not any kind of laws passed, but bills on there. Nothing's passed. He didn't say anything's passed. I haven't heard anything's passed about you can't vote and you only have one goddamn vote. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, I think isn't the city open for a mayor vote or something? I think something's open for the city. Something's open. You have with school elections too, so that's a goddamn lie. So nothing's in the works where it's only one bill. I mean, where it's only one time to vote and one shot at the goddamn apple. That don't make no fucking sense.
Try to create a fluidity, a flow, an opportunity for us to do projects, not to avoid the citizens, but to have more projects or to be able to address projects during the whole year, as opposed to, and I do know from conversations with Mr. Batiste that great planning goes into that. Those projects as they make their presentations, but I want to hear, how do you feel about that as well, that information, that projects can only be brought that one time a year as opposed to being brought at different times because of that. Yes, sir, Mr. Batiste.
Yes, sir.
With your approval, Mr. Mayor. With your approval, Mr. Mayor.
My response to that, Councilman, is like, is if you take a cup of coffee and you continue pouring water, it no longer becomes coffee.
Yeah, basically what he's saying is you keep on doing what you're doing, trying to merge the city with the EDC. You're not going to have a real EDC anymore. It's going to be just nothing. It's not going to have the economic development. What this city needs is economic development.
We only have so much money each year to spend.
Oh yeah, so much money. Basically, what he's saying is, you let the city come in and take all this money. You're not going to have any money for any city, for any job-related projects, some economic development projects, right? That's what they're going to do. They're going to come in, rape pillage the EDC for their money, and then all the job training, you're not going to have that, and we're going to be falling further behind in the economics, right? In the economic boom, we'll be falling behind with jobs and not having the right skills for it. So that's what Frank want to do, and his cousin, psycho ass Bartie.
You know, this organization normally get about $4.2 million a year. And so when you're talking about specific projects, most of the projects that we're going to go after going to be a $6 million, a $7 million, a $10 million project. That is not going to happen over a 1 year period. It happens as a 1 year period when you go to and ask the voters saying, we have a specific project that's going to cost us, let's take the parks, $6 million that we want to inject into the parks. I cannot inject $6 million next year on a project because we don't have the money. So we go to the voters and we say, we want to make your parks premier parks, and we want to invest an additional $6 million in it. We went to them one time, and this board, the EDC board, says they know that once the voters says we want premier parks, every year that money has to be allocated for that premier park. When you take the little money that we get, 4.2 million, and you dilute it, it becomes weaker. It's become weaker.
Let me ask this question, Mr.
Now, see, since Mr. Batiste is not saying what he want to say, they're getting frustrated. See, they can't really articulate a good reason to change this EDC from type A to type B, especially when the comptroller's office says that you can do type B projects going to the voters where you do not have to change it, where you don't have to change the classification of it. So it specifically says in the comptroller's office. But listen how Frank gets mad.
Just answer this question for me. I'm going to name some business opportunities, and you tell me whether or not they are a project or a B project, okay?
Yes, sir.
A water park, is that an A or a B?
A B.
Skating rink, if someone wanted to open a skating rink, an ice skating rink in Port Arthur, A or B?
Well, let me make sure you
No, A or B, just A or B.
I got to make sure you understand what you're at.
Whoa. Damn, Donald Duck. Frank, shit, let the man goddamn talk. Just answer it, A or B. This is the fucking bullshit I can't stand. You got fucking Donald Ray and his cousin over there, Bartie, thinking they some hot shit because silly-ass voters voted for him. Hey, including myself. I voted for Thurman, tried to get other people to vote for Thurman, but he lied. But, that's how it is with politicians, He was the better choice at that time. But we got these old crooked-ass, sellout-ass politicians, right? That thinks they shit don't stink and they can talk to you any kind of way they want to. This shit ain't right, man. This shit is not right.
When you say someone, You got to remember
A business comes in, they want to open up a skating rink like in the Galleria. They want to put in a ice skating rink or something.
Let the man talk. Now watch. Well, I'm gonna say that for later. Go ahead and listen to this.
I don't think that would be, that's not public facility there.
Well, I would say generally speaking, again, you're probably talking about a 4B project, and it depends on,
Now, all that smoke they had for Floyd Batiste, now when you talk to the white guy, they don't have that same smoke for him, right? They don't have none of that disrespect, none of that hold your opinion. They're going to ask him for his opinion, if I'm not mistaken. Watch, just listen to this. They don't have that same smoke for the white guy. They'll talk all type of shit, the Floyd Batiste, and this is what I hate about these goddamn sellouts. These sellout, crooked-ass scum, drug addict son of a bitches, right? They'll go at it at a black guy. They'll go crooked teeth, disrespect the shit out of him. But this white guy up here, they don't tell him shit. They don't give him none of that lip, none of that back talk that they do to the goddamn black guy. People like Bartie and Frank are cancers to our society. We need to excommunicado these types of individuals. We can't stand these goddamn sellout house niggas, right? And go ahead and listen to this, man.
I don't know anything about skating rinks like that, but I don't know that they would create that many primary jobs. But I would say, generally speaking, that might be a 4B project.
Thank you so much, Mr. Goodson.
Question, Mayor.
Okay,
I just need to just, Mr. Goodson, would you define primary job for everyone so we'll know exactly what it is?
Primary jobs are not, I hate to be the kind to read a definition because so that I don't try to put my own spin on it. Basically, and it's right here in the statute for both 4A and 4B, it is a job that is available at a company for which a majority of the products or services of that company are ultimately exported to regional, statewide, national, or international markets, infusing new dollars into the local economy. So that's why I just said that the project that was just mentioned probably is not, because you're not taking products and services outside the city like most of the facilities, the larger facilities do in Port Arthur. But again, at the end of the day, I want to go back and clarify one other thing that I mentioned to Councilmember Frank. We currently do still have the two time periods, May and November, for the conduct of general elections.
Okay, now he just corrected Frank with how I said earlier, right? He said the same thing what I said earlier, that he corrected. We do have the two elections, so don't let Frank lie to y'all, just like how you try to do and lie in these council meetings, hoping you don't get it. We do have the two. He just said it. I didn't catch it the first time, but he said we do have the two election times. So don't let Frank lie to you about only one time to get in all this shit.
What I said is that there are people afoot, not your talented Chairman Decibel, but others that are trying to change that. Chairman Decibel has been an extremely successful advocate for city and municipal issues, and so we would hope that he and others would defeat that measure this time once again. But back to the project, I would say both of the two you mentioned would be 4B projects.
Mr. Goodson, let me just ask this question if I can, and and this will get to the crux of the matter. The state of Texas allows for A and it allows for B. There are some cities that have A, some cities that have B, some cities that have A and B. So let me just ask the question, and here I think this moves us to the crux of the matter. Why do, in your opinion, perhaps, because we do give opinions, and you are an attorney, why do this?
Now you notice that he don't have that same smoke for him or Bartie, but mainly Frank knew Bartie was wrong and out of line for that dumbass shit, right? He was out of line for it, but Frank was out of line for trying to force Floyd to answer the shit the way he want to answer it. But yeah, they don't give this white guy no smoke though.
Cities that have an A and a B, or have a B, use that B. What is it that individuals see in a B that causes them to use it as opposed to just an A?
I can say this because we represent some cities that have just 4 Bs. Generally speaking, I would say, and this is not by way of just overgeneralization, 4 Bs tend to fund smaller projects for one reason. They have a smaller pot of money in order to fund them. For example, the city of Orange, the city of Koontz, and some others that we represent, very small cities where their sales tax base is small, they don't have the ability to go out and fund major projects because their sales tax revenues on an annual basis are not going to be sufficient.
Now, notice he says that he represents them too, right? With Orange and Koontz, smaller cities that have a smaller budget. Port Arthur's a larger city, have a larger budget with, refineries and all this and industrial things that, look, you have the EDC that's not for, the EDC director is not for changing, both of them, Floyd and George. You have, 3 of the council members, Ingrid Holmes, Kenneth Marks, Charlotte Moses, they haven't been no advocates for changing this shit. You got Goodman, the doggone EDC attorney, that's not for it. So you have the EDC, the 3 council members, and you have 2 of the EDC directors. The only jackasses that's going for this is Mayor Bartie and goddamn Donald fucking Frank. This shit isn't rocket science, right? This isn't rocket science. Leave the shit alone. But you got these 2 crooks want to goddamn get kickbacks off the money they can give developers for getting some bullshit going. Now, what happens if you get a skating ring or a water park and it doesn't succeed, right? It fails. It ends up getting closed down. That's money the city has lost. So the city is not in the business of developing different, paying money to develop different things, right? We need to do do our streets and do city stuff, normal city stuff, not help developers develop. If they want to come here, they go spend some money to come here. We can't spend all the fucking tax dollars to goddamn give it to developers and hope they bring something down here. That's on them to develop.
Efficient to go out there and entice one of your major economic development partners to come to the city over a period of time by doing a funding. So if you look at most 4B projects, they are much smaller projects, not only because the projects that you're funding are smaller, but because the revenue base that you have available is smaller. 4As tend to be the cities with larger economic development bases, with larger sales tax bases that they can then allocate and aggregate over a period of time to be able to entice projects, much as have been done in Port Arthur, and many of which have been out there at the business park, but some have been otherwise.
Thank you, sir.
Other discussion now. I have one thing I'd like to ask to maybe either attorney or Mr. Batiste or someone else might be able to chime in and just further enlighten me on this. Now, I see being a 4A and
Now, everybody's made an articulate agreement why to keep it a type A, right? Now, Bartie sees that they can't make a logical fucking argument to change this shit. No reason to change it when in the language of the comptroller's office, they say that you don't have to change it, just bring it to the goddamn voters. But these 2 crash dummies cannot articulate why in the hell we should change it. Now, Bartie is going to go on some old crazy-ass rambling shit about something. Here you
go. The industrial base, I believe that I think you alluded to, Mr. Batiste, as to say when you were describing them, that 4A is more of an industrial type of financier, if you will, for economic growth in a community and in our community. However, and we've had this for a number of years, and this is just information sake here. Okay. Now, we are still caught up in the city of Port Arthur, 16% unemployment percentage rate, right? 16% of unemployment rate in the city of Port Arthur. And we are funding all of these large projects or doing something to assist in these projects. Now, I understand what Mr. Gibson just said, with a B, it would be smaller projects and the primary employment or employees, if I'm phrasing it correctly, those numbers would be smaller. But with our years of being involved in the 4A, has it done, or do you have these statistics on that? You gave us the amounts of money.
Now, I don't know who told this goddamn clown to talk about the unemployment rate, right? But it sounds good. It sounds like it sounds good. He's trying to make a case that, well, the EDC, we got this, we still have a high unemployment. But Mr. Batiste about to knock it out the park on his ass.
And it was presented in a real good way. Everyone does that. That's what Linda was showing a little earlier. Over a 20-year period, a 15-year period, the millions of dollars that have been allocated and actually appropriated for us in these areas. Yet, what I see is we still have a large unemployment rate in this region. You know, how does that match, or how does that correlate with the 4A?
I might answer it, Mayor, and I think I'd be the quickest to do so, Floyd, if you'll let me. Back in several years ago, again, I want to thank Chairman Desautel, I want to thank Floyd, I want to thank Kate, because they, along with several of your board members, were involved. We got a particular statute added to to the Economic Development Act, and basically it says, because it's targeted directly for the city of Port Arthur, although it doesn't say Port Arthur, it says that a corporation which has a population of $10,000 or more is located in a county that borders the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of Mexico Intercoastal Waterway, is included in a metropolitan statistical area that has an unemployment rate at least 2% above the state average, can then go spend sales tax revenues on job-related life skills and job-related training skills. So part of what the EDC recognized is that we've got to get our people educated to a point to get the 4A jobs. And so we...
See, that's the main thing, right? The main thing what you get with the 4A is the jobs. These jackasses want to take away these industrial jobs, right? City jobs, all these training where you can get a good pay to try to feed you some bullshit, some minimum wage skating fucking ring, right? A minimum wage skating ring. Or some kind of bullshit ass water park that you may go to, may not go to, right? What jobs are gonna have? It's minimum wage at the worst, at the least. So hell, you want to goddamn get unemployment, you need to get these 4A damn jobs. You know what I mean? The refineries, the industrial things, and just like in the comptroller's office, man, this is what it's for: job training.
Done this, and we've done collaborations with a number of job training programs, both through industrial and commercial clients and institutions of higher learning, including Lamar State College of Port Arthur. So the way we tried to fill that gap was to get the population this training at a skill level so that they could get into more advanced training programs or be hired in the program. Sorry, for some reason my video just cut out, but I apologize. So we have tried to do the things that fill gaps. And we did that in collaboration with the then city council and mayor. If there's other opportunities that we need to work on, then we'll certainly do that.
Mayor?
Go right in, Mr. Batiste.
Okay. First thing, I think Mr. Goodson alluded to the fact that when we put together a project, an incentive agreement, there's some conditions that have to be met. And our conditions is payroll, employment hire, Port Arthur hire. So every contract that we write within that contract, there's a number of Port Arthur residents that must be hired and payroll that has to be obtained. And I can tell you from guy, maybe you help me out, from the last 16 years, we only have one project that failed. They've all met the obligations. So I can tell you, we are putting those people to work. As to the unemployment, if you go back to 1975 and look at the unemployment rate of Port Arthur, it was always high. And I can tell you from my experience as a workforce development, the unemployment rate in Port Arthur will always be high. And that is not because of the people that we have here. It's because the unemployment rate includes those who do construction work that lives all over the country. When they file unemployment, they get your rate. So your unemployment rate from 1970, when the refinery was bustling, the unemployment rate in Port Arthur will always be high. Always. Because of the nature of our community. An industrial base, you have people coming on, working shut down, working 7, 8, 9 months, and then they go file unemployment. Then your numbers. And they're not from here. So your numbers can always be high. I hope that answers your question.
So what you're telling me is that our numbers are basically skewed in a direction, but it's just the way the data is gathered.
That's correct.
It's not a true. So what you're saying is it's not a true testament of maybe what the actual.
Mayor, he just told you what he meant. Now you trying to goddamn finesse this shit, kind of make up some shit that you want to say. Mayor, just give this shit up, man. You heard what the man said. I mean, goddamn.
Population in the city of Port Arthur is experiencing.
That's
Now,
correct.
okay, now, and I'm totally familiar with, not totally familiar, but somewhat familiar, I would say, with the training programs that we are offering.
Well, you need to get fully familiar with it, Mayor. You talking about jobs, you need to get fully familiar with the training program.
That EDC is involved with, along with Lamar, Port Arthur, and maybe some other entities that would enhance employment readiness, you know, of individuals who are basically Port Arthur citizens. And I think you just alluded to, there's only one project in 15, 16 years that actually didn't meet that threshold, if you will, for employing, I guess, Port Arthurans on these projects. But I'm just, you know, today, and as far as I can understand, today I think, and you are an attorney, city attorney, you correct me if I'm wrong, we were basically fact-finding, because I think if I'm going on what Councilman Mark said the day that this discussion began in council, that we needed to get all the facts together. And that was why I said that maybe personal.
Dude, what more facts do you not understand, Mayor? See, this is this old crash, dummy ass shit that you can't accept, that you can't articulate the shit. Now you want to say you need some more goddamn facts. All the facts is on the comptroller's office, Mayor. I don't see why you make yourself and your cousin look like an ass doing this shit.
Professional opinions are not what we were asking for right now, or not in any way trying to be demeaning or derogatory.
Well, that's exactly what you was doing, being demeaning and derogatory. How in the hell you going to get some information? It's a damn discussion, and you don't want the damn opinion of the EDC director. That's stupid, right? When you have you and your cousin giving all kinds of goddamn opinions, because the shit is not based in fact, it's based off straight a goddamn opinion. You know what I mean? Because Frank, he thinks it's gonna be better for getting different things out. That the EDC director told him no. You know, that's and that's what he's trying to suppress, right? The guy is so narcissistic. He's trying to oppress a goddamn EDC director and basically tell him to shut up. We don't want to hear your doggone opinion. But motherfucker, you want to find the information. Who you gonna listen to? That's the ignorance of these stupid son of a bitches, right? I'm sorry. Like, it's going to be a lot of cursing in here because you want to find information, but you don't want to ask the opinion of your goddamn EDC. That's stupid. You can easily see this as a you got this shit for something else.
That if I'm correct on what Councilman Mark said, is that we want to get some information, fine, you know, together what we would need together in order to probably have a discussion, if I'm correct, again in the executive session, if this were brought as an agenda item with possible action. Now, as far as I know, right now, this is not an action item. Am I correct, Attorney?
Right. Now, we wouldn't have anything necessarily for executive session. That's just when you're negotiating contracts.
Okay.
If the council ever decided to move forward, then you would have some type of action item at the appropriate.
And then we would have a public hearing on it also.
Yeah,
right.
Well, it depends on you. You would have to. I would recommend that you digest the information that you've been given. We can send you some more information from the comptroller. And then if you get to a point where you'd like to do something, notify us what exactly that is. And then we can move.
Now, you heard what the city attorney said. Digest this information. They can send you more information from the comptroller's office. Now, remember, I've been giving you them resources straight from the comptroller's office, right? I've been giving you the information that says, hey, what the type A and type B is. So now listen to what Bartie tried to come up with.
Forward based on what your thoughts and recommendations are. It was one little thing I just wanted to say very briefly is that a lot of times if you want information on this is very, and I think all the presenters were very good in informing us, and it's also on the Texas Comptroller's website, and they explain all how things work, and they put it in layman's terms for anybody that may be watching. You can just look on.
See, look, Bartie got that. He don't want to see that shit. He don't want to see that because it answers all his questions right there. He don't want to see that, so he want to go to some other type of adventure trying to find whatever it is he's looking for.
On the Texas Comptroller's website, they talk about type A and type B and
Comptroller's website, the same thing that I've been giving. Let me see if I can. Let me doggone see if I can go ahead on and doggone. Let me see. Bam. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that they was bringing over here. Right here, the same thing from the comptroller's website, type A and type B. This is exactly what they was wanting to show you. This is exactly.
Okay, we are here today, as I stated, for a special meeting, and it's a workshop type meeting dealing with some issues or a question that was raised in the council meeting by a council person, and for further clarity in understanding the situation, we've asked the EDC personnel to enlighten us on the difference between, I believe, it's a type.
There you go. Let me go ahead and get it back to where we was at. I kind of know when I went through that I was going to bring it back. Yeah, 139.
And informing us, and it's also on the Texas Comptroller's website, and they explain all how things work, and they put it in layman's terms for anybody that may be watching. You can just look on the Texas Comptroller's website, and they talk about type A and type B and what they're used for and the types of projects. So that's also a good resource. But I thought the presenters did a great job of explaining what is available under.
Basically, the city attorney agrees. Comptroller's website has all in. Basically, what she's saying, the comptroller's website has it all. But hey, the presenters did a great job explaining. So, again, the presenters were the EDC director and the Goodman, the attorney. City attorney agrees with it. The only two crash dummies that don't agree with it is Bartie and his cousin, Dumb and Dumber.
The law and what our history was.
Thank you, Councilman Mark. You have something?
Just in addition to what Attorney Zeno says, the Texas Municipal League Economic Development Handbook is a very good resource also. And I've actually been using both the comptroller's and his handbook. And I think it's in our best interest as a council for us to actually discern exactly what it is we're looking to do. If we're wanting to.
Now, I don't know. Kenneth Moss, he's been asking some weird questions throughout the council meeting about appropriate primary job or some. He's just asking some weird off the wall questions. I'm not sure what side he's on, or, if he's for it, against it. Mayor Bartie seems like he think he's on this side. I don't know. He's asking just different off the wall questions. This is not so off the wall. He's bringing up another source, but earlier he's been asking some different strange little questions.
To improve the quality of life in the city, and it takes type B projects. We have to determine whether or not we're going to be able to do that through the Economic Development Corps.
Well, Marks, you should know that you own that, and go to the comptroller's website, like the city attorney said. You can do it through the aid. Just go to the voters. Come on now.
Corporation based on the amount of funds that we receive on an annual basis, because we're trying to do several things
okay, there you go. Now you're talking about the funds. Okay, that makes better sense.
At one time, and this is a good piece for us to start, but it's we can use the information to actually make an informed decision about what we're going to, which direction we're going to take.
Okay, thank you. Now, City Manager, also, I received several emails, and I'm going to have to go back through mine, and I'm sorry I didn't bring it today. There is a training for council persons on EDC functioning. Now, I don't know, maybe Councilman Holmes and you, Councilman Walker, even Mayor Pro Tem, you all have served on the EDC. So you all would know. If I want to share the emails with you all, Councilman, City Manager, if a financial coming with it, I think $100, $200 to train for the training. Are you familiar with that?
Now, this goddamn fool here, it looks like he wants the taxpayers to pay each of them use $200 of your money for each of them to go to this doggone EDC training. Now, did the city attorney say you need to go to this EDC training? No, she didn't suggest it. She could just go to the comptroller's office. Now, if your ignorant ass would listen to what the fuck Floyd is telling you, you can get that training right there. You don't need the goddamn training. So all of this is a goddamn scam, man. All of this is a scam. All of this is some bullshit to try to get a hold of the EDC's money and burn that money up. They want to burn the money up so you can't get no training class and they can go give that to the developers. That's all this shit is, man. Because this is not that hard. This is not a hard thing to think. I've been saying the same thing. EDC Director saying the same thing. Mostly everybody been saying the same thing. But these two dummies, they think it's some other crazy. They trying to do some other crazy shit.
When I'm talking, is that something good that you would recommend that we all would be involved in?
I think he gives a great general information of what EDC is and what we do and what the B is.
Okay, general information. That's the shit that you already know right now. Now you can see Ms. Holmes, she hasn't said nothing about the whole goddamn time, right? Nothing. She didn't have no input on this. But Bartie easily called on her about this goddamn training. I mean, this shit is a clown show. This shit is a goddamn circus.
I also wanted to recommend, Mayor, that the Attorney General's office has a great handbook. There are a lot of resources, but I do think the class is a good idea. Just a general overview about it.
Okay.
I do think
I'll share it with the city manager either today or tomorrow. But I get the emails, and I've gotten them for the past 5 or 6 months, but we have never gotten anything dealing with EDC. I wanted to personally, I've gone through the deal, and when I saw it was you had to pay for the training, but it's online training, and it's something I think that they have actually gone real big with virtual with since.
$200 for some online training. When you're too lazy to go to the comptroller's website office and understand right there, that's what it does. You can just go to the EDC office. Go to the EDC and look through some of the types of projects they've done. You have access to the EDC Director. You have access to the City Attorney. You have access right now to the EDC Attorney, who not only represents your EDC, but other smaller cities like Orange and Coons. He just said that. But you want to ignore all of that. You have EDC people on Councilmember Holmes, Mark, Charlotte Moses. You want to ignore all of this EDC information you have, but to go ahead and pay $200 for an online training to get some type of general overview when you have the goddamn people right here, you big dummy.
The pandemic. But I'll get with them on it, and I believe it's something that can be purchased. And if we do get it like that, then each council person can actually have access to that one. We can go to the Texas Municipal League that Councilman Marks has alluded to, and with the Attorney General's information that you alluded to, and then if there's any other information we can get back with Mr. Batiste and Mr. Davis in their office to find out some other further training and fact finding that we can get, and then we can, if we're going to make a decision on it, then we would make the decision, with the right information. I'll give it to you, Councilman Floyd.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm glad you mentioned that, Mayor, because I think as recent as next week or a couple of weeks from now, the Texas Economic Development Council has a webinar on the use of the sales tax, and I'm not sure what the cost, but it's very minimal. But I think I spoke to Councilman Frank, and I suggested that you take a look at it. It will tell you what you could use this money for and what you cannot use this money for. The other thing is the organization that we belong to, the International Economic Development Council. They have right now there's a lot of webinars going on, and as I mentioned to Councilman Frank, there's basic economic development, which will give you guys a holistic approach to what we do, because most people do not know what we do. And the other thing I would suggest, Councilman Moses and Councilman Mark and Councilman Holmes, they have a strategic plan. Those are intimate parts of what we do as economic developers. And I would suggest that if the council have an opportunity to go to IEDC website and take basic economic development, which will give you that holistic approach to what we do, and strategic planning, which will tell you how we facilitate bringing all these people into our arena, because we all serve the same people. I think it would really help this council. And again, TEDC has, with the state of Texas, have a sales tax training, and that happens several times a year. You guys should also, I think that would be very beneficial to this council in trying to make a decision on what direction you would like to take and what type of economic development organization you would like to be.
Okay. And I'm going to be respectful at one time. We're about 3 minutes shy of 2 hours. I think that's long enough for anything. We gathered facts today, and I don't think anyone's time has been misused. And if anyone has any closing remarks that you'd like to make, because we want to be respectful of your time, and that's for sure. And so any closing remarks anyone would care to make? Go right ahead.
Yes, I just want to thank all of my colleagues. I want to thank Attorney Goodson. I want to thank Mr. Batiste and Mr. George Sparks there, who are there and who have capably led our EDC. And then I want to thank Councilman Marks, Councilman Moses, and Councilman Holmes for their service on the EDC. And then thank you, Mayor, for leading us through this discussion on today with our city attorney. It is just our desire always to move our city forward. It's just our desire always to do the best for Port Arthur. And then we are cognizant of the fact that while we are having this dialogue, our city is frozen down. Our citizens are experiencing pipes bursting, which has affected their home life and their quality of life and all that they're going through. I'm here at the church on today, and we have frozen pipes and burst pipes, and so we're going through a very difficult time. But I just want to thank our council and thank all of those who are making this workshop possible, and our citizens who might be watching as well as they're going through what they're going through. We just want to move our city forward and always do what is best for our citizens and keeping the citizens informed. Thank you, Mayor. Thank all of you, each of you.
Anyone else? Any closing remarks?
Yes, Mayor, if I might.
Go right ahead.
I just want to say, in the spirit of public service, which all of us on this panel today, we are public servants, that it's our obligation to gather as much factual information as we possibly can before we make any decisions about changing anything to do with the business and the operation of our city. So I thank everybody for attending and for giving us the amount of seriousness that it deserves, because again, we are public servants.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? If not, to Attorney Guy Goodson, I want to personally express my condolences on the loss of your mom, and pray God's blessings on you as you begin to live a new life. Without here physically, but I know in 94 years, she has probably impacted you in a whole lot of ways. She educated a pretty decent lawyer. I've known her for a little while. So, yeah, she's done a big job on that. So we offer our condolences and prayers for strength as you go forward.
Thank you, Mayor. I really appreciate that from you. Thank you.
Okay. And anyone else have anything else? If not, we're ready for the benediction, and the benediction is the city secretary to take it off.
See, people, we have nothing but con artists on the damn council. And this is why you don't need to change the EDC from a type A to a type B. You need to keep a hold of the money. You need to watch the money. You need to vote on it, regardless of how many times it take. You need to be in control of your money. That's it, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Take it easy. Peace.